Whether you're just getting out of the newlywed phase, maybe you've been married for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, or you have babies and young kids, keeping the spark alive and keeping the romance alive is so important in your relationship.
That's right. And in today's Kitchen Table Talk, we want to share our own techniques of connecting in our relationships. And we also got Kimmy Seltzer back with us to talk about her strategies in keeping the fire alive in your relationship. And Jeremy Hahola.
I love this.
How are you?
You've already texted your wife.
What am I doing?
What did your wife tell you to say today?
Yeah.
I thought you volunteered, actually.
He did. Yes.
He's going to be great.
He wants to get the husband side in, which is important, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so let's get started. So first of all, I feel like I have to brag about Alex because you make sure you do your date nights. Yeah. I'm not as good. Are you, Jeremy?
You know, I think I try to remember, but you have to. We've been together now for 22 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we have a 4-year-old girl. That changes everything, of course, but you do have to make an effort to date your spouse. Totally. You know, and flirt, and still flirt with
See,
them.
that's so good.
Yes.
That's where we kind of get in like the roommate.
Same with us. I need to
vibes.
liven it up. Good for you, Jeremy.
I like that.
I'm scoring major points right now.
Kimmy is a
With
good
your wife,
flirter.
though, like how do you flirt with your spouse? I'm just like, is this weird? Like, hey.
Well, no, I'm so glad that you said that because I was going to say, like, I've actually done episodes and podcasts on how to date your partner again. It's like remembering what it was, those first days that were so magical where there was that adrenaline rush. But the thing is you get into the state of complacency, right? Like you get a little lazy with even like the clothes you wear, you're in your sweats, eating Chinese food every night. So like the key is spontaneity and novelty to get some of that back, but also thinking about, to your point, like how do you flirt with your partner again? Thinking about like the body language that you once had, like even just the look. I know, like I keep going back to
I like your
eyes,
look.
but do you...
Have you seen her look?
Yes,
It works on everybody, by the way.
He was like, I can't look.
It doesn't discriminate, like so. But even the touch, like, people stop touching.
Yeah.
People stop like pausing and really holding space for each other with your eyes, with your body language. And also there's been studies that shown like when you break a pattern, like if you're used to a routine of some sort, if you do something that puts you in that state of like a pattern disruption, it creates the excitement again, like how it was in the beginning.
Yeah.
I like that. Any tricks to the trade?
So we got married in 2010, so 14 years, but we've been together for 20 years. So I think for Mark and I, we do a lot of things out of the norm. So my husband and I may not be really good about going every week to do a date night. We need to do that more often, definitely.
Yeah.
But we do concerts. We just got back from Disneyland. And you're right, it automatically puts this excitement and this spark. And we really lean on one another when it comes to the kids. And I think that to me is the sexiest thing. When I see my husband being a good father, when I see him take out the trash, those are my aphrodisiacs.
100%.
And then do you tell them that? Because compliments are also really important. You forget to
I
compliment.
don't do that well enough.
Yeah, I think it's a two-way street too.
Oh, let's hear it, Jeremy.
It has to be a two-way street. I do think, surprise is good too. No, I'm not talking about gifts. I like flirting with my wife.
The trench coat?
Surprise. Yeah, not there. I do like flirting with her with like surprise statements, surprise phrases. Complimenting her on her looks, and that's fun. And sometimes that takes her back. Like I'll start off in a very serious story, then I'll come at her with a fun compliment or whatever.
I like it.
So we've been together for a long time. Like over time, when you have kids and work gets in the way, all that stuff piles up. And sometimes you don't prioritize your spouse like you should. It takes work, and you have to be intentional about it all the time, because if you don't, you're going to lose that spark.
In 22 years.
Yeah, 22 years. Yeah, we've been married for 15.
That's amazing.
We've been married for 15. We celebrated 15 this year.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You have to have some good tips up your sleeve,
I don't know
girl.
that I do. Right now I have a 5-month-old baby, and so that's what I found. It's hard to really navigate around.
Well, and it's hard to feel sexy. Let's face it.
I don't.
And that's what
It is
keeps
very
us
hard to
apart.
feel sexy.
But when you don't feel it,
Right.
it's hard to have that energy to put yourself out there in a very sexy way. So you do have to be intentional. And the other thing is sometimes when you're a parent, you're in that business mode. So the business energy just isn't sexy. And now you're just partners. So you have to create a separate space. That's why having the date nights are so important, so that you can recreate that sexiness.
And I think texting. throughout the day too.
Oh, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah,
like cute
absolutely.
little
So, yeah, I
like
think, yeah.
emojis?
I mean,
goodness.
I need to do it more, but
Jeremy.
I do think if you text your spouse
Okay.
throughout the day, little messages, I think that helps too.
Oh, I look at Jeremy.
Not like
whole
what's for
new
dinner.
way.
Those are the
God, his
texts.
wife is
My
so
wife's probably gonna watch this later and like, where's my text messages? What are you talking about? You're completely
You have great
lying on
ideas
set
if
there.
you execute.
I know.
Lucky
Way to
lady.
go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kimmy. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me back on here.
Yeah.